Welcome to Inclusive Academia's deep dive into the Compass program at Farleigh Dickinson University with the program's director, Taylor Nolan.
My name is Taylor Nolan. I'm director of the Compass program at Farleigh Dickinson University on Florham's campus. I have been with Compass in different roles since it came to Florham's campus in 2016.
Can you please tell us a bit more about Farleigh Dickinson and about the Compass program?
FDU has a few different campuses. Compass is located in both New Jersey campuses. The Florham campus is a really suburban feel, an enclosed campus, lots of trees, lots of greenery. We're best known for our mansion on campus, which was an old Vanderbilt mansion. And then our Teaneck campus is our metropolitan campus, so it's about 40 minutes away from Florham. It has a little bit more of that urban feel, being closer to New York City. And so there's just a little bit differences in the environment of the campus, depending on what students are interested in or what environment they are more comfortable in is really what campus they will go to. But Compass is offered at both campuses. So the Florham campus, about 2,200 undergraduate students. I believe the Teaneck campus is a little bit smaller than that, so it's a small liberal arts college. On Florham's campus, we offer, all your science majors, so your biology, chemistry. We really have a good arts program, so students can do major in film and theater or animation. And then, your arts and sciences. We have a nursing college, sports management, and hospitality. And then on our Teaneck campus, it's mostly the same, except you're swapping out some of your arts, like your film and 3D animation, which is available on Florham campus, and adding in more of like your sciences and engineering.
What types of support services does the Compass program provide?
So students receive 4 hours of services each week. That is for our freshmen and sophomore students. It's really the goal of the program originally was to bridge the gap of services that students received from high school that weren't necessarily available to them in college, right? So to be able to help students assimilate and build some self-advocacy and have this transition into college be supportive and successful for them. Our philosophy is really a strength-based approach. We really individualize what we do with our students within those 4 hours a week. So students receive 1 hour of individual counseling, which is really your traditional counseling services. Some students really focus on their academic concerns or stress or goals. Other students might have more of a mental health component there, managing feelings of anxiety or depression. And other students are focused maybe on their social goals and wanting to connect on campus. So we're able within the individual counseling to really meet a student's needs. Our academic coaching is offered 2 hours a week and really focuses on executive functioning skill building. And then we have an hour of group counseling a week for our freshman and sophomore cohorts. We intermix them, so students are able to be amongst peers, but also get a little bit of diversity and experience from other members in Compass.
How many students are currently in the Compass program?
Currently on Florham's campus, we have 21 students across 4 years. So we really do focus on that structured programming for freshmen and sophomores. However, we a few years back started implementing junior and senior services or junior senior plus services for students that we felt and they felt that they could still use some continued individualized support, but with a step back, right? We're really working with students to build their self-advocacy, build their strength.
What does the Compass application process entail?
So there is a separate application for Compass. Students will submit a Compass application along with supporting documentation. That typically includes any type of IEP or 504 plan, so any of their educational supports, history of recent evaluations, so psychosocial evaluations or psychoeducational evaluations, high school transcript, and documentation of their autism diagnosis. Once the application is reviewed, we will invite students for an interview. So our interview process is a way to meet with the student and their family to understand their motivation for attending college in general, their ability to transition independently for the most part. We don't offer any in-class support, in terms of staff, so that the student is able to manage that transition to the classroom on their own.
What are you looking for in terms of the right fit for your Compass program?
And I think the biggest fit factor as part of the interview process is really the student's interest in engaging in the program. Our students are with us, again, 4 hours a week. It's a big time commitment, and so their buy-in and their interest in receiving that support is really the biggest indicator of how well this is going to work for them. So we want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So one of the biggest questions I think students have is like, how am I going to manage this in my schedule, this time commitment? And we make it as structured as possible. So each semester we will fit the students' Compass appointments around their course schedule. And then we will be able to change their appointments for, the semester as their classes change. So typically those 4 hours are spread out between 2 and 3 days. So a student will have a day where they're coming in for 1 hour for their individual counseling appointment. They stay with the same counselor and the same coaches for a full academic year, so they're able to build a relationship with the staff that they're working with. They have another appointment during the week of 2 hours of academic coaching. So the academic coaching, again, is really individualized based on the courses that student is taking and the work that they have for those courses. So their coaches will work with them on organizational strategies, time management, breaking down and chunking assignments. Their coaches also reach out to the professors about 3 times throughout the semester minimum to get feedback that we can incorporate into the session. So that might include anything that's missing, but also strategies that the professor might be noticing that since we're not in the classroom with them, we wouldn't have any knowledge of. Different points of the semester, we might include different types of study tips for midterms and finals. For class registration, we're helping students build their schedule before they meet with advising so they have a good foundation and feel comfortable with what's going on. We're definitely the most hands-on during freshman year, but we notice, because of that consistency and repetitive nature of the things that we're doing in our sessions each semester, by sophomore year, students become really independent in communicating with their professors on their own. And then that last session, if they have a week, is group counseling. It's really meant to be a peer connection of things that are going on and that the students are relating to, whether that's the time in the academic semester and stress that they might be experiencing, whether that's building relationships and healthy relationships with other peers on campus, whether that's their own sense of independence and identity. So many topics get to be covered.
What is your approach to supporting students' social development?
We find that meeting the students' individual social needs has been a lot more successful. So we really try to meet those individual social needs for the students, whether that's goals to attend clubs and events, or to, initiate conversation with roommates or with people on their floor to do things and connect with. We do offer an optional peer mentorship program where students are paired with other upperclassmen volunteers at the university as just somebody that they can connect with in a informal way. So this upperclassman may meet them so that they can attend an event on campus together or have lunch or dinner at the dining hall.
What are some housing options that Compass students can consider?
So our students go through the same housing process as any other undergraduate on campus, completing the housing application and getting paired. When we do our orientation for the Compass program and students are able to meet over the summer, it's a good way for students to connect with other incoming freshmen and potentially find a roommate, but it's not something that we do any pairing on ourselves. We oftentimes encourage students to apply for what's called living learning communities offered at FDU. So it's actually living with students of the same major as a way to just have like a broader social potential for other students with interests that they'll have classes with or like different needs that way, as opposed to just keeping Compass students together. Some of our students also prefer to have their own living space just based on their needs to regulate and have low stimulation in their room to be successful and to be able to like manage their own health and needs. So we support them in going through that process, which is offered through our Disability Support Services Center to process and see if they're eligible for that accommodation.
How much does the Compass program cost?
Currently, for our freshman and sophomore program, it is $7,480 a year. Our junior, senior, upperclassmen program is $2,500 a year. During junior, senior year, our academic coaching tends to be more in like a group setting, so there's less individualized support.
How much communication do you have with parents?
It's as much of a transition for our parents as it is for the student, right? Especially in regards to advocacy. Parents have been their students' biggest advocate as they need to be, right? And so that shift in responsibility can be hard on everybody. So, the student is an adult and we like to treat them as such. So they tend to be the ones that we are taking lead on in a lot of ways in terms of additional communication or responsibility. And we hope to guide them through the processes of things that they need on campus. We do have scheduled family sessions once a semester, about halfway through, so that the parents are invited to attend for like a progress meeting with everybody involved. And that way we're having like a collaborative conversation about the progress the students been making, any barriers that might be going on, and letting the student really guide that conversation as well. And the parent also has an opportunity to ask, any questions that they feel maybe haven't been answered or they're left in the dark about. We always encourage the student to have open communication with their parents about things that they might be going on that they're struggling with. And of course, successes too. It's something to brag about, something to feel good about. And so we do try to keep the parents involved, but at the student's discretion.
Do you have any metrics that would point to the impact Compass is making?
Out of last year's students, we had over a 3.0 GPA, cumulative GPA for students, which was, I believe, higher than the university average. Our retention rate in the program from freshman to sophomore year has been 90%, 100% the last 2 years. So for students to complete their freshman year and return for sophomore year is, I think, a really significant part of their comfortability and how that support, helps that continued progress toward their degree. 81% of students who have completed at least 4 semesters with Compass, so that would be their first 2 years, have graduated within a 5-year span. And so again, much higher than our university.
A big thanks to Taylor Nolan. For more information on the Compass program, please visit the URL below, and please remember to subscribe for more great content from Inclusive Academia.